To receive a graying population, it means that we have to look at the positive assets. What does it mean for Singapore now that we have a larger proportion of Singaporeans who are retired? Just because one is economically retired doesn't mean that you have to be socially passive. In fact, that is the time when we should unlock positive social agency.
Successfully graduated.
So Project Silverlight is a very special project to all of us because it encapsulates the vision that we have for a graying Singapore. So this project is very different in that instead of taking a top-down approach, we go with a bottom-up perspective. We invited our participants and we empowered them to dream and aspire and share with us what aging means. With all that free time now, what do they want to do to keep themselves occupied, socially engaged and positively connected?
我喜欢吃斋米粉，还有烤鸭。
gado 还有那个打胡锅令这些。
大锅饭 ，Western food 啦，
亮豆腐、
烧鸡饭的
rojak。So I usually cook at home, home cooked food.
所以我最喜欢吃的东西是Maggi 面。
We also believe very strongly that one of the most important attributes of connecting, subgroups within our community is intergenerational ties. At SMU, we are privileged to have our students participating in community service endeavours. So we invited one such group to join us.
So we were involved in different areas. Firstly, at the start, we were involved in surveying and focus group discussions. Then after that, we transitioned towards planning projects and events for them.
So we were involved in planning, basically just collating the seniors' views on what activities that they like, and actually relaying the message back to ROSA, and then collating their availabilities, etc. So it's a lot of administrative side of things.
The first few conversations were a little bit awkward because our senior participants were going, "What do you need from us? What do we need to do, and what are you going to do for us?" The students are a little bit awkward because what language should we speak? Should we use English? Should we use Mandarin? Oh dear, my dialect is non-existent. Within a couple of sessions, when I had the privilege of walking into one such session, the room was just filled with robust conversations.
Today 很好，又天气很好。
Everything also got onion, roti,
pepper and soy sauce.
I think it's quite fun to actually hang out with the elderlies, especially on the way here. We're talking to them and asking them, "Oh, is it your first time here?"
And also being able to bring the elderly out to the wow, so to experience something new as well.
the party and to the creatures of the night. Okay, there we go. Imagine how strong that tail is. None has about 40 milligrams.
小熊啊，我的鼻子，所以可以近距离的看一些动物啦。
Yeah, quite fun. Yeah, very fun. Not quite fun, very fun.
It's very challenging because this is the first time I experience how to bake. Learning something new. I feel very elated to join this group of people. Just like a family.
If I can think of the top of my mind, the ones that were most impressive, they went for a tidal walk, Sembawang Hot Spring, and so we supplied buckets for them. They had workshops, and the list goes on. And the difference is that these were activities that were surfaced by our senior participants. So it is an organic bottom-up approach.
这边我年轻的时候爬到的是来过，以前我们是 barbecue 跳舞，海边组织野餐，以前的那个年代。
So this is what we call a feather star. 它们像那个海星一样，它们有那个再生能力啊。
这个是蛋，螺的蛋。
Quite exciting lah, that sort of thing.
Never expect to see so many sea creatures.
And I think that the younger generation should realize that they should spend more time with people of different age groups, yeah, so that they can learn more from them. And I got to experience a lot, got to share with me their experience, like what they did in the past. Yeah, and then I think it's like very knowledgeable and informative.
Aside from that, I think both of us, we really enjoy like interacting with the seniors whenever like there's sessions. Yeah.
The final message we have is we learn how to, I think, recognize the architecture that has to be in place to facilitate this new involvement of older adults in our community. And we hope that through this pilot, ROSA will be able to contribute to the discourse of progressive, successful aging.
Perhaps in the future when this Project Silverlight is ended, maybe they can come out together, as friends, for future events, without us.